Sheldon Rankins is coming back to Houston. This is huge and a great move by Nick Caserio to get a former player who is a great scheme fit for the DeMeco Ryans system. They needed some interior defensive line help. Why not go get somebody who already played for this team? Welcome to Texans Digest. If you're new here, hit that sub button. We are posting videos all day, every day, at least trying to. Free agency's here. Hit that sub button. Appreciate everyone for all the support. As far as Sheldon Rankins, he was on Cincinnati last year. I know Bengals fans do not like him for how he played last season, but we have to be fair. He was 30. He was battling a viral illness all through November 7th, so he wasn't 100%. He was battling, so he kind of just didn't play the second half of the season, and now he's fully healthy. He's back to Houston for a 1 year, $7 million deal, kind of a prove-it deal. But, you know, in the one season that he had with the Texans, he played pretty well. He played pretty good indeed. And as far as Rankins' stats on the Bengals, he did not play the best. And I know people don't like him, but we have to talk about what he has done on Houston. I know if you're considered yourself a Texans fan, you don't know who Sheldon Rankins is, I would really reconsider your favorite team. Rankins with the Texans had 6 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, 37 total tackles. He was a monster in the trenches. And again, a great scheme fit for the Texans. You look at just kind of their depth chart already, and it's looking pretty good, coming together pretty well in terms of the free agents that they have. You got Will Anderson now. That's going to be a great wrecking ball system. You have Tim Settle, Lorenzo Fatukasi, Sheldon Rankins. Darrell Taylor was just signed. You have a deep defensive end and defensive tackle now. The only thing is I would probably get another guy in the draft, defensive tackle, just to tighten things up. If they traded for Mason Graham, that'd be pretty crazy, but I don't think they would do that. They need offensive line help is what they need. And Sheldon Rankins was a great idea. It was a great signing. The thing is what else can Nick Caserio do? We saw the C.J. Gardner-Johnson trade. Technically, this is a little bit late in terms of the Sheldon Rankins trade, but we got to break everything down in terms of what happened in free agency. And this defense is really just coming together. Sheldon Rankins is he's gonna shape out that defense. He's gonna do really, really well, and he's done really, really, really well for a long time. He had his most sacks in a single season with the Texans, 6 of them. So he was a one-man wrecking crew. He had everything going for him. He was rushing the passer. He was in the trenches. He was tackles for loss. I mean, he was all over the place. And the funniest thing is, he's coming from the Bengals in a game versus the Bengals last season. When he was on the Texans, he had 3 sacks versus that team. So it's almost like they didn't know where to play him. He wasn't the best scheme fit. He was battling an illness throughout the season. So now he's finally coming to Houston on a cheap 1-year kind of prove-it deal. And why not? I think he'll fit perfectly in the Sheldon Rankins system. A nice reminder of what he can do with this team. Tim Settle as well. But, I mean, this is a good fit. Sheldon Rankins may not move the needle for some, but he's definitely important to remember how DeMeco Ryans feels about him. The team was outbid on him last year, and now he's coming back. Great scheme fit and a leader in the locker room, a leader for the trenches. He definitely knows what he's doing. He's a veteran piece, 31 years old for this season, and I mean, this is just a great idea. I mean, why would it not make sense? I would love to hear everyone's thoughts. Sheldon Rankins, definitely a great signing. In my opinion, they needed some up-front pieces, and I mean, it's just all good signs all the way around for the Texans. You don't have to spend too much for him because he got cut from the Bengals. He was on a hefty contract, and that's my biggest fear was last year. When we signed Rankins, it was only really a 1-year, $11 million contract, and when he had such a great season, I was expecting him to pay him like a 3-year, $25-30 million deal. And I was like, I don't want to give Rankins 10 a year for 3 years. And then he goes to the Bengals, has this unfortunate thing happen throughout the season. But now he's back. He's ready to play. He's doing well. I mean, he's a wrecking ball, right? I mean, we look at just how much he brings to the trenches. It's actually pretty great. So, Sheldon Rankins to the Texans. I mean, there were a lot of other moves as well in terms of you brought in Derek Barnett on the edge, Darrell Taylor. That was another good depth piece. Trayman Smith re-signing at the cornerback position. So just a lot of depth. The one thing I'm kind of surprised the Texans didn't do was re-sign Robert Woods. But they did make up for it in Braxton Berrios and another wide receiver, Justin Watson, who we will talk about in next video. But I just wanted to do a quick update video on the kind of the 3 signings that I love, and we'll talk about the receivers in depth next, the next video. But appreciate everyone watching. We're going to keep these videos kind of short to the point, and I don't want to keep blabbling and blambling and rambling, and you guys are like, all right, you already said that. Let's move on. So that'll do it for this video. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It was Derek Barnett, Sheldon Rankins, all the guys up front is really good. Let me know your thoughts on the Texans defense, and check out the wide receivers video. That's going to be crazy because you got Kirk now, you got Nico, you got Berrios, you got Justin Watson, you have John Mechie. That's going to be a great receiving core next year. You got some depth pieces. I wouldn't even be surprised if they drafted one in the 3rd or 4th round this season, so or in this year's draft. But again, thank you everyone for watching another short video. But free agency is here. Got to keep pumping these videos out, and thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.